Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Movies with D, and that's me. Today, as always, we're doing reviews, and today we're going to review the movie The Revenant. The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, Will Poulter, and Donald Gleason, who I didn't realize either of them were in this movie, but Donald Gleason, he had a breakout year. He had three movies come out last year: Ex Machina, which he was a star in; Star Wars, which he had a supporting role in; this, which he had a good supporting role in, and he was great in all of them. So I'm gonna have to keep that name in my head because the one part he's gonna be in Star Wars, and the other part I think he's gonna just be acting for a while. But so as always, no spoilers in the movie. Um, yeah, I'll try not to do spoilers or anything like that. But this movie, The Revenant, is follows a frontiersman, Hugh Glass, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, on a trading expedition in the 1820s. He gets mauled by a bear and left for dead. And from there, it's sort of a revenge film, but not entirely. I mean, that's his driving force is revenge, but it's not like he's going around killing everybody like a Kill Bill or something like that. He's out for revenge. It's just not he's murdering everybody. It's just a journey. If you want to really break down what this movie is, it's man against nature. It's a human being overcoming great odds and just with sheer determination, or trying to overcome them, and that's sort of the beauty of this movie. As I, this movie I've been looking forward to since January of last year when I first heard about it. Alejandro Inarritu is the director, and he directed my favorite movie of 2014, which was Birdman. And part of the reason why Birdman was so great was the direction. Granted, Michael Keaton and all those guys were phenomenal, and that's a director's job, is to bring out greatness in their actors. But once I heard Alejandro Inarritu was doing a movie teaming up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy, everybody automatically was, hey, Leo's getting an Oscar. And the question is he going to get an Oscar? He's getting nominated. He gets nominated everything. But is he going to get an Oscar this time? I'll give you that answer. I'll give my opinion on that answer later. But man, this movie, Alejandro does such amazing work as a director, and he takes such risk that is fascinating to see. And this is a movie that you watch, and or I should say both the two movies I've seen of his, Birdman, and this, and it's art. It's like when people get snobby, like, oh, it's the art film and stuff like that, and some movies are popcorn films. This movie is so. This is what filmmaking is supposed to be about. You know, it's he took chance. They shot this movie. I want to say it was Alaska, wherever it was. It was somewhere cold as hell, and the way they had to shoot it, they did no studio lights. Everything was the sun and fire. That was their lighting, which is difficult as can be. It's hard enough to light things studio wise and expensive. They did the opposite and only used sunlight and fire, which means they can only shoot at certain times of day because they have to wait for the sun to be a certain way. So when you did these takes, which in Alejandro's movies, he does long takes. He does panning shots. He follows the action and constantly moves, and man, he does it well. He does it so well. And oh dang, I'm supposed to be doing positive, negative. I'm giving positive, and I haven't got to negative. So as always, I'll do negatives first because man, this dude, man, he's definitely one of my favorite actors. I mean, my directors coming today, and everything he puts out, I'm gonna be watching. So, and because of this movie coming out, it came out technically in December 25th, but it wasn't released in Washington until the 7th. So I just saw it, and because of this movie, I waited to do my top 10 of 2015 because I want this. I knew this movie was going to make my list, and you'll find out if you watch my video. Let's say that. Anywho, let's get to my negatives. So my first, I only have a few. I had to literally think about negatives of this movie during the movie. Like at a point in the movie, I'm loving it too much. I think of negatives when I talk about this. So these are kind of nitpicky. Parts of the movie did seem kind of dry. I think that's probably due because it's a 2.5 hour movie and you're watching this man do some brutal stuff, you know, and trying to survive and survival story. So parts of his life where his time trying to survive was kind of boring. So that could have been done I mean, maybe it just could have been tightened up a little bit. And I think that's truthfully any movie that's 2.5 hours or so. That's one of my main complaints is that could have been tightened up a little bit. But I still enjoyed it. I'm gonna watch it again or look forward to when it comes out on DVD. We'll see if I'll go see it in theaters. I don't know. But second, and this is my only other complaint of the movie, is this. I gotta watch. I'm kind of skeptical of saying this because not skeptical, but it's not a spoiler, but it gives you some information. But it's nothing because you know he gets in the movie. You see he gets mauled by a bear, and the way they handled that is, or that's my positive, so whatever. But during getting mauled, he breaks his ankle, and I think they do a good job dealing with it. But later in the movie, he's able to walk, not greatly, but he's able to walk. And if you break a bone, you're not able to walk on it. I mean, granted, I don't know how long. It doesn't give you exactly how long he was, his journey goes, but he should never be able to walk. Not on that freaking ankle. He could just be hopping through the whole movie or crawling. So it didn't bug me as much, but it stood out. It stood out great because I'm like, hey, you clearly showed me his ankle broke, and now he's walking with a limp. Like, no, he shouldn't be doing that. And I think they handle it decently for most of the movie. It's just when it gets towards the end, they kind of forget about it, and it was in my head. But that's all I have for negatives. So let's get to my positives. And I have a laundry list of positives, but so I'm only going to give you a few. So, firstly, man, they did it with, like I said before, they used the sun and fire to light this movie, and it was beautiful. I don't even like the cold, but for the scenery, I'll put up with the cold. I'll take a vacation or two to go to someplace in Alaska and see where they film it. Because man, if one thing watching movies or just seeing things in life has taught me, nature is so beautiful, and nature is part of the beauty of this movie. Because man, the landscape and stuff is so great. Um, the scene that everybody talks about is the bear scene. Man, I don't. The thing about Alejandro, man, and him teaming up with Leo and how great he is, I don't know how they did some of the stuff they did. Like this bear mall. I don't see how it's a CGI bear, ain't no real bear. And the bear maul was brutal. It's as bad as you think of being mauled by a bear could be, except for of course, he survived, so but crap, how did he survive? Like, man, it was crazy, man. It was pure will and stupidity, luck, but that best, and it made sense. It wasn't like the bear mauled him and somehow he just survived and it wouldn't happen in real life because people survive being mauled by bears and bears have reason for doing what they do. So I mean, and their precautions. So I mean, it definitely made sense, and it was beautiful to watch, but painful at the same time, man. It was great. Um, Next is acting wise. I mean, you have Leo, you have Tom Hardy, and I'll wait to say if I think Leo's gonna get an Oscar. No, I'm talking about acting. So, let me get to that. So then they have Will Poulter. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he's from Maze Runner and uh, the Chronicles of Narnia. One of the I think the Prince Caspian one, and then the one I'm really familiar with him is We're the Millers. It's like, hey man, you talking to your eyebrows or something like that? He has some weird eyebrows. And so he's in it, and I didn't expect him, but he's good. And Donald Gleason, man, I brought him up because he was in Star Wars, and I didn't realize that he was in 3 films this year. And I thought it's early this video I brought it up. I thought I brought it up in something else. So I brought it in this video. He's in 3 films this year, and man, he's good. And those four, man, I mean, everybody. There's a couple of other faces I know. I definitely don't know them by name, but man, those guys did great. Now let's go to Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, man, I'm surprised he's not being considered for a nomination. As far as I know, they're not. No, he's not even in talks for a nomination for Oscar. It's like I don't see why. He was so great in this movie. And then you go to Leo, freak. When people say, "Hey, Leo doesn't," and I'm one of them. I'm saying when people complain about him not getting an Oscar, I'm the first to say, as great as he was, I don't think he deserved it. Or I can't argue with who they picked, and that's really what it boils down to. Is like it's not like he's getting snubbed; he's getting beat by people who are performing great. But this movie, man, it's I he I have there's two movies that there's two big people they're saying that might beat him. Or there's three. There's Bryan Cranston in Trumbo, Eddie Redmayne in A Danish Girl, and Michael Fassbender and Steve Jobs. I've seen Steve Jobs and I didn't see the other two. Um, but just going and Fassbender is one of the main ones they're saying to be. I mean, Fassbender is great, but the sheer difficulty of this movie and what he has to do, not only mentally as a character, but physically as a character, and what he has to put his body through. I don't see how he doesn't win this year. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to see the other movies as soon as I can, but I don't see how they beat him. This is Leo's best performance. It's gruesome when it needs to be. You feel for him. It's so great. I'm just let me get off of it. Let me get off of it. It's so great. But okay, next is realism. Realism. You feel when the movie. I dressed warm for the movie because I had to go to work after, but you felt their cold. You felt their pain. It was so cold. It was so painful that being mauled by a bear and all the other stuff that happens. It's so realistic. And the last positive I'm gonna stay on is this movie makes you think, man, and that's what a great Oscar type movie or a great movie period does make you think. And I love anything that makes me think and break and compare things to how they are now because this took. I mean. You see it in the trailer that Native Americans are very prominent in the movie, and that's what they're dealing with. And there's a scene where the chief Indian talks about land and the white man taking land. And I have Native American in my blood. I'm the Choctaw, so I'm on board with what he's talking about. I understand it in a sense because the guy's trying to hustle the Indian, and the guy's like, "Look, man." You want to talk about being fair. You took our land. You know, the white man took our land. And it's like I was like, man, that's crazy. And then it was more relevant because right now the whole thing going on in Portland about land or whatever. So it's like, man, I just kind of took me back and just really made me ponder that for a while. So I mean, that's an achievement in itself. Something that can break it down like for you like that and really make you understand the time. That really put me into that timeline. But that's it for my positives. I'm not going to talk about. I can really talk about this movie for a lot longer, and this is probably a longer review that I've done besides my top 10 videos. But so let me score it. I give this movie a 9.5 easy. To find out if it makes it on my top 10, you have to watch my top 10 video. But man, this movie gets a definite 9.5. I was loving this movie, watching it, man. I mean, it comes in at 2.5 hours, but man, there's so much to love about it. It's so great, and yep. That's all I got to say. Shoot, go see this movie. Definitely. Shoot, if you want, shoot. Yeah, I'll definitely. Hey, please comment. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter at dwood2324, and tell me what you thought about The Revenant. Let me know how you felt about it. Whether this made you want to see it. I hope you want to go see it. I hope you see it. This movie deserves to be seen in theaters because of the way it's shot, because of the way it looks, because of the experience. Like. At home when you watch certain movies or you're watching TV, and I do it too. I have my phone handy and I'm kind of looking at it, but I'm not giving all my attention to the movie. But in theaters, hopefully you guys do is you're forced to focus on the movie. That be your main focus, not be on your phone and all that kind of stuff. And this movie demands it. You need to watch this movie and experience it because I have a nice TV. But it can't do the justice a theater experience can do, man. You have to see it in theaters, man. It's great. And please check out my other videos. I'm posting I think 5 videos today, and 2 are top 10 lists. And every one of those are moving in my top 10, man. They all deserve the love that I'm giving this movie. I just saw it yesterday, so it's real fresh on my mind. It's just so good. It's a movie that's an experience, man. So let me stop pondering and say that's all I got for you guys. I'll get you guys next time. Deuces. Hey everybody, and I just want to know what you think about the video you just watched. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you dislike it? Please let me know by clicking that thumbs up button if you liked it. Also, please make sure to go to YouTube /TalkingmovieswithD or at dwood2324 or Derek Woodrin and subscribe to the channel so you can be updated on my movies. This year, my goal is to really try to review a movie every week, or as many movies as I can and see. That way, you guys know what to go see out there. So you don't waste your money on seeing a crappy movie, and then you can see a real good movie instead. Also, like, you can follow me on all social media at dwood2324. I really want to know what you guys think. I have a lot of videos that I'm posting right now, and you can see them all on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page, Derek Woodron. And check out those videos and let me know what you think. Did you agree with what I said with those reviews? Did I make you want to watch these movies? Did I keep you from watching something that might not have been good, or did I excite you for the movies that are coming out? Like I did my top 10 most anticipated, or I did my top 10 best movies of 2015. Did I make you want to watch those movies? Did I make you, not want to watch them? Did I bring some movies to light that you might not have seen if you didn't see this video? Please let me know. Please comment and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll get at you guys next time. All right, deuces.